Okay, so in the previous video, we discussed about that you would have to use the extrude modifier to create a base shape of a Pokemon ball or a Pokeball, whichever way you call it. So I'm going to take the sphere in the front viewport. I'm just going to drag this out like this. So what we're going to do now is just come back here in the perspective viewport, zoom out. We are going to turn on edged faces like this. So yeah, it's not looking that much great, but still we need our Pokeball. So the things I taught you in the previous video, we're gonna actually take the segments a notch up around 38. Okay, this much is okay. I'm gonna hit right click and convert this into an editable poly like this. So we're gonna choose the vertex, choose this vertex and hit remove. So it's empty like this. And what we're gonna do now is basically just choose this one, choosing the center polygon. We're gonna use extrude and push it inside like that. And now the next thing what I'm gonna do is choose one polygon here, hold shift and click the outer ring. And now we're just gonna choose the extrude again. And I'm gonna extrude it out just a little bit like this. So it's a bit out from the side like this, so it looks like a Pokeball. Now, I'm not going to split it or anything. I'm going to explain it to you on your way. So what we're going to do now is choose this polygon here, hold shift and click. You guys will see it chooses all of these polygons up till this point. Now I'm going to, sorry, Control Z, accidentally deselected it. So yeah, this is the point where it's ending, so it's not going to go any further. So that's a problem. We would need to use the connect modifier, as I didn't explain that one to you guys yet. We aren't going to jump into that one yet. I'm going to hold down control, select this two, shift click. It's going to choose this two all the way here. And now choosing the extrude modifier again. We can just hold our left click and extrude this out. Or we can use the normals too to do it. So yeah, it's a bit pushed in. So if I render it, yeah, it does look a bit somewhat like a Pokeball shape. Let me turn the resolution on. Wait, hold up. So okay, done that much render. Yeah, it does look somewhat like the Pokemon ball shape, but we're gonna do a Control Z. We're gonna press the button, and we're gonna turn this into local normal, as it's a bit more precise. Okay, it looks great. We're gonna hit the tick right here like this. And if I render this now, since it's the local normal, it's not going to push those sides out. It's gonna look somewhat like this, like a Pokeball shape. And what more you guys can optionally do is choose all of these polygons up here and scale them up so it looks like a base Pokeball shape. Like, for example, if I just choose all of these, I explained in the first video about selections and scaling, how it affects the normals and all of that, the scaling and all that. Like, you can just choose all of these here, and then you can just extrude them out using the local normal thing, so it will look a bit expanded and larger than this actual thing, and you would have the basic Pokeball shape. So as we will go more further into the tutorials, I don't think so anybody's watching my videos and all, but I would like actually pace up a bit and explain better from now on. So I'm just gonna delete this, set out. Okay, let me see. Yeah, we discussed the extrude modifier. So now we're gonna discuss the bevel. I'm gonna go inside the box modifier and just draw any surface out, okay, of a box like this. I don't care what height, what width, what length, just any of them. Right click, we'll leave the segments to 1 by 1 by 1. Convert it into an editable poly, go to polygon selection mode, choose any surface at all, okay? And then press this button up right next to the bevel. Now you see the bevel is no different from extrude. I did extrude it, yes, but it's a bit bent. Basically what beveling is, I need to set the height to 0 and this outline thing also to 0. It's basically an outline, like you can push the edges on the inner side, like you can bevel the surface like this. I just bevel this on the inner side, and now I can extrude the height up or down. Now basically what beveling is this, moving this outline. And we also have another outline here. The difference between beveling and outline, I'm going to tell you that. So the difference between beveling and outline is, as you can see, the bevel, we can actually take it into a negative value like outside and push it inside and even beyond that. But as soon as we reach the edges, we can actually move this out like this, and that actually move the bevel up or down like this. Now it's looking like an open carton box, yeah, but it's actually showing the inner surface. But we could actually delete these side polygons and connect these edges to actually, and make them split to actually make it look like an open separated carton box, but that's for another video. So if I choose the same thing for outline, you see I'm like scaling the entire object up and down because that outline is moving on that surface. Like it really can go beyond the limit or so. Same goes for inset, like outline, you actually move that the boundary. And as for inset is just pushing these inside, but we really can't take it into a negative value. For example, Control Z, hold up. If I try to take this into a negative value, it's not like bevel. It works like an inner bevel, but it's just inset and it has two types. You can keep the center only or the border or so. That's inside the chamfer, as I showed you the chamfering before. By polygon means a single polygon, a group means is going to inset the entire thing out. For example, we're going to choose the sides. So we have chosen the sides. We're going to hold Alt and left click to deselect this. So we have this now. I'm going to apply an inset to this entire thing. So you see it's a grouped one, meaning all of these are joined in together. And we can just choose to inset them as much as we want because these are the edges, one here, and points. The points are actually being moved together. We could just do this, and yeah, it will move in the opposite direction, but we can't really go to a negative value. A bevel can do that. Similarly, if I change it to group, it's actually going to inset each one of them separately like this. And if I hit tick, I could just extrude these on the inside like that. And depending on the edges of the boundary, they're being insetted like this. And if I hit Control Z's and I choose to perform another inset, but instead of by polygon, I choose by group like this. I could choose extrude, and yeah, the extrusion is not along the normal, so it's just trying to extrude it forward or backward. So for this reason, we're gonna need the local normal like this. So it's actually going to adapt the normal's direction, which one is going to adapt out. So you can push this in and out like this. So you can similarly mix the bevel too. So, oh shit, I messed up. I'm just gonna hit extrude again and just extrude it like this. If you need to change the type, like if you need to do the group now, you will actually have to push the button because it's already on local normal. Then you can choose by polygon and all because the direct dragging one is gonna work by default the way it's supposed to. Like if I just choose bevel, I'm beveling it on the negative or the positive side like this, and then I can just do this because it's also grouped. Now another thing I can do is choose inset. I'm gonna inset this like this, and now I'm just gonna pick up extrude and extrude this out as much as I can like that. So you guys see we have formed this little base pillar like shape. It's not that good, but I'm just trying to explain to you like how all of these are together. And if I choose outline, I can just make it a bit shrinked or wider like this. Like I just made it into this like this, or we could have scaled this manually too, like by choosing the scale or so. So if I just choose the regular move, I can actually move it up or down or push this in. I can rotate these. I can rotate it, twist it and all. And even I can like scale it, like as I'm scaling it down, or I can scale it big. It's the same thing, but these are like correlated, all of them. I remember I told you, if you scale something, you're actually stretching it. You're not really shrinking it or making it larger unless you're doing it uniformly like as in all three directions, X, Y, and Z. Any two of them, even you're actually stretching it, like pulling it, and that's going to affect your model heavily. So now I'm going to perform that bevel thing, like the outer bevel curve. So we really don't need any height. We're going to just leave the height to 0, which means it's plain like paper. And we're actually going to go here like this. Now once we have done that, I'm just going to hit tick. These are selected. You see, that's because two polygons are on a single layer. So it's having problems rendering. So I'm just going to go here, choose extrude, like that. You see? Now it's actually extruding it up, but if I actually reduce it and take it down, what it just did was like that surface we had selected, it just started to move it up like that. It's got moved up like this, and we get this weirdy pillar shape. So this is how extrude, inset, and beveling works together, and you can actually create a lot of attractive shapes. In the next one, I'm actually going to show you well, what is connecting edges, and I'm also going to show you flipping, what flipping is, and we are also going to discuss some of the edges one. Like I told you about the polygon ones, how you can do it. In the next section, we're going to discuss what flipping a face is, and we are going to discuss these, what connecting is, chamfering and extruding in terms of edge, split, break, and I'm also going to show you some of the slicing tools if the video has some time. I'm trying to keep them as short as possible so people can understand. I'm not really that great of an artist or so, but I do know how like this stuff works, so I'll try my best to explain it to you and hope if anybody at all, like even a person is watching these, I really hope like you guys actually feel this useful. So if you have any problems, you can just ask me in the comments. Stay safe and see you in the next video.